Coach of the year. Now, this is tricky.
You could go a couple of ways here. You could go, I personally think you could go the Dan Campbell route.
They do it situationally. They don't do it based on the best team, best
Agreed.
coach.
Who won it last year? Stefanski?
Yes.
Stefanski won it
and
because...
Dable was the year before.
Right. And Stefanski won it last year because you lose your quarterback, Joe Flacco, backup quarterback, top defense. I understand all that. Let me ask you this. Is there a team like that this year? You want to know who comes to mind for me? The Pittsburgh Steelers. With Justin Fields as the quote-unquote backup quarterback. And I've told you this.
I was going to say Tomlin or O'Connell get consideration.
I told you this at the time, but fair play to you for reading into that Russell Wilson stuff and the fact that he would start. So I think there could be a big stink about that with the Steelers at starting the year with a backup.
Mid-season coach of the year, I think it'd have to be Tomlin or O'Connell.
Okay.
Would you agree with that? Would you throw Dan Campbell in there? Would you throw an Andy Reid being undefeated in there?
I would personally.
But in terms of how the voters vote,
I agree.
The
award is skewed. It's not. It's going to be unfair for me to say this. It's not the best coach, in my opinion. If that was the best coach, we'd give it to Andy Reid every year. This is similar to my argument that I made with the NBA MVP. You could have gave it to LeBron for 10 years, and I understand that becomes stale. So with the guidelines, I would agree with you. Can I give you another one, though?
Okay.
Quinn and McDermott?
Quinn would be consideration. I'd be surprised if McDermott got it, but it's another consideration for sure.
think Quinn
makes a lot of sense.
Can I change my vote? I'm going to go Quinn. I did not expect the Commanders to be 7-2. Colin, I had the Commanders about a 5-6 win team this year.
Yeah.
And they have shattered every expectation I think that they've set for themselves and for their fan base.
Yeah, Quinn would probably be an easy answer here. Tomlin and O'Connell, I think, would be other guys you consider as well. If I had to award it, you'd probably go Quinn because the team is brand new. But I think Kevin O'Connell deserves a ton of credit in terms of losing. You didn't know whether he was going to go Darnold or McCarthy to start the year, loses that quarterback, and is able to put together in a very, very tough division a very strong, with a resume-building first half of the season for the Minnesota Vikings. I think he would deserve some of that.
It's a lot. There is a lot right now. Can I do a little trolling, Colin? Can I do a little trolling? What about the 6-2 Philadelphia Eagles and Nick Sirianni?
Oh, God, he drives me nuts.
I know intern Jacob is a big Philly fan, and what about intern Jacob's Nick Sirianni Eagles?
It's incredible how close he was to being burned. Like, oh, God, he would have been destroyed by the media had he lost that Jacksonville game, and he put them in a position to lose by giving up all those extra points and going for two and on fourth down. He has no sense of that. Nick Sirianni's problem, if you're an Eagle fan, Nick Sirianni last year, or 2 years ago, let's go to 2 years ago. Okay. You had Gannon and Steichen, two future head coaches. He let them do their thing. Everything was working. Sirianni's relatively fresh on the job. Everything clicked. Then you go to the following year. You lose both coordinators. Of course, you get Brian Johnson in there. And this is a situation where Nick Sirianni was a bit of a helicopter parent with both coordinators. And he wanted to be involved here. He wanted to be involved there. He superseded authority here. He superseded authority there. They told him to back off in the offseason. They told them to mend those relationships, and they changed out the coordinators with experienced guys that won't necessarily back down to Sirianni's antics. Now, all of a sudden, you have two coordinators who are proven and good at their jobs, and they're succeeding. And it's almost like Sirianni has this complex where I need to get involved. I need to make sure that people see what I'm doing, and I need to be making a difference in the game. Sometimes when you don't notice a head coach making a decision, it means they're doing a good job. No news is good news when it's sort of like that. And he has to do something, whether it's clock management, go for it on fourth here. He has to throw the challenge flag, do something with the media. He has to be seen. And he has to have a sense of, I contributed today. Because in that Jacksonville game, both Fangio and Moore did a great job calling the game. Great. And then it's Sirianni trying to get involved, trying to be seen. It annoys me, and I was rooting for the other team, and it annoyed me.
And Colin, all that happened after week 12 of the NFL season last year. Let's not forget, the Eagles started 10-1 at the start of last year, and then they went 1-5 to end the year, and an embarrassing loss. Not embarrassing. Let me rephrase. And a loss to the Buccaneers, who we found out are actually pretty good. So,
I mean, they shouldn't have lost in that fact, and everybody knew they were going to lose, but I understand.
Right,
that.
But I mean, the first 11 weeks last year, it's like, all right, look at Sirianni. Look at what he's able to do without his coordinators, then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. So he drives me crazy. I don't think he should be fired in any sense because they're winning games, but he drives me crazy. I was rooting for Jacksonville in that game on Sunday, and Sirianni was driving me up a wall. It's never happened to me. Very, very strange. Mike Rizzo, Colin Rizzo, Christian Cat, of course, behind the glass from the City Play Studios right here in downtown West Palm Beach.